SWIFT, S-W-I-F-T, is the biggest mover of money in the legacy or the old school financial system. By contrast, Tether is the biggest mover of money within crypto. And thanks to Chainlink's groundbreaking new partnership with SWIFT, there's a good chance that we're going to see not only Tether USDT, but also USDC and possibly other stable coins in a variety of new ways and demonstrating a variety of new use cases and functions. This is certainly great news, so there's no question about that. I'm celebrating this personally. I think it's massive as far as an announcement and as far as a milestone in the space. But that being said, there's a tiny little asterisk here because the fact of the matter is that it could, potentially at least, open the door to the growth of some currencies that we wouldn't like to see. I'm talking about CBDCs, or central bank digital currencies. So for sure, on the whole, this partnership between Chainlink and SWIFT, I would argue at least, is positive. But there are some nuanced takes to be had here. I want to explore what those are, and I want to make sure that we're all alert, that we're all guarding against the negative potential that can arise from this. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck. If you choose to invest, I genuinely wish you well. Just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, and that means that by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. Have you checked out our new trading section in Discord yet? Because starting this week, we now have a dedicated trading section to discuss all things altcoins and technical analysis. And on top of that, our very own Cody is giving his personal trading setups that he's actually taking in real time that you can follow along with, as well as educational videos to help you get started with trading. If you're not a trader, don't worry. We have sections on Bitcoin, altcoins, gaming, and NFTs as well. It's all for free. Join us in Discord today. Check out the link in the description below. Okay, so first and foremost, here it is. This is the big announcement from SWIFT. And the big mention here is on tokenization, as well as the movement of stable coins. By the way, not mentioned in the press release. This includes CBDCs, which are mentioned in the press release. Let's put a pin in the CBDC part, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But in the meantime, SWIFT says the experiments have successfully connected banks, Euroclear, and Ethereum's Sepolia network. We can only imagine how much easier this is going to make on-ramping and off-ramping between banks and blockchains. At least that's the hope. But like I said, we do have to keep our guard up and stay alert to the CBDC element here. That very much is the elephant in the room. Because the danger, of course, is that all of this could lead the way for legacy systems to easily issue CBDCs and all the things that would, in a worst-case scenario, follow. So things like social credit scores, or forced usage of funds. And it's kind of a complicated landscape, even though I bet you probably have a knee-jerk reaction one way or another based on whether or not you hold LINK, L-I-N-K. And like I said, it's nuanced here because it could go either way. And so we're going to take a look at both the pros and the cons here. We'll begin with the pro argument here, and honestly, it is hard to overstate what a big deal this is. It's just massive because SWIFT dominates legacy cross-border transfers. SWIFT moves, on average, $33.5 million per day. Now, Tether's total daily volume crushes this number as it's in the tens of billions, but that's not really a fair comparison. Anytime someone trades out of Bitcoin or ETH or SOL or whatever into USDT, that is actually counted as USDT volume, and that includes centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges, DEXs. But as of this recording, the most up-to-date metric that I can provide you for total daily volume for Tether is $50 billion. But like I said, it's not an apples-to-apples comparison because, again, trading is included in that metric. And guess what else is included in those USDT numbers? Banned countries like Russia and countries who don't trust SWIFT, like China, for example. Both of those two countries that I mentioned use crypto for transfers more than they use SWIFT. In fact, most of the world does. Just go to South Asia or Latin America, and you're going to see that USDT has absolutely crushed it in those markets and found superb product market fit. Most use USDT on Tron, but sometimes on BNB Chain or Polygon or even Arbitrum. And Tron is absolutely crushing it. And And look, the reality is that most of us outside of South Asia think Tron is kind of a scam, thanks to Justin Sun's leadership, quote unquote. Okay, but the super low fees actually mean that Tron dominates. Just take a look at these numbers here. Tron has $61 billion native issued USDT on its network. That's more than anyone else, including Ethereum, who has 54 billion. And here's the thing. In certain Latin American markets, USDT is even more popular than Bitcoin. That is how successful it is. And so the pro argument here for bringing SWIFT online with the rest of crypto is that, number one, in crypto, it's already here and doing mind-numbing numbers, volumes that far exceed what SWIFT can do. Number two, SWIFT volumes are in the tens of millions, while USDT and USDC's volumes are in the billions on a daily basis. Therefore, SWIFT does not threaten either of those two stablecoins. Number three, SWIFT transfers get faster and normies get to see the benefits of using crypto with it working in the background. Number four, SWIFT transactions get cheaper, of course. And finally, crypto in general gains credibility with the general public if SWIFT starts using it to move money around. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but it's a big deal at the same time. So as you can see, there are many benefits. And look, you and I are probably biased because we use crypto. We likely don't need SWIFT anymore. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's not a known and valuable service to others. SWIFT benefits from this, and so does crypto.
And so if this market pulls back hard under this level and then consolidates and comes back, we're likely to sell and stall.
Let's discuss the cons now, the argument against this partnership. So USDT and USDC are centralized stablecoins. We already know this. We accept it. Tether and Circle are the issuers, of course. SWIFT is the most centralized of centralized organizations. It is a member-only, big bank-only club that organizes the messaging and movement of money across borders. Could this lead to a CBDC, either in one country or in groups of countries together? The short answer is yes. Yes, it could. In fact, SWIFT is already openly talking about this, saying that, quote, recent experiments have proven our capacity to interlink CBDCs on a global scale. It's clearly on their minds. We have FedNow connecting to SWIFT for this capability as well. This is the instant payment infrastructure for banks. It replaces or works in tandem with ACH to process interbank payments faster. And SWIFT already has a common messaging format that's ready for it. That's called ISO 20022. So this is happening, and some are already calling it a CBDC era. The only two questions are, number one, will your country have its own internal CBDC, meaning one that can only be used within your country? And number two, will its CBDC or digital currency version of your dollar, euro, rupee, or peso, or whatever, become part of this interlinking network or not? Well, number one, no one knows the answer yet, although many countries are testing a CBDC version of their existing currencies. And as for the second question there, the most likely response is yes. If they get one up and running, they will use it and SWIFT's capabilities with Chainlink to connect them to the other currencies around the world. But it wouldn't be all bad because, first of all, money would move a lot faster. Also, exchange rates would be tighter, meaning more money for both the sender and the receiver. Fees would go down. Probably not Tron, Polygon, BNB Train, or Arbitrum levels of low, but they're still going to go way down versus where they are today. And also, millions around the world will receive a better service for less money. We have to acknowledge that those would be some of the benefits. Now, I don't even think we need to talk about how bad this could be, potentially, with things like social credit scores or worse, deadlines to use or lose your digital currency to spur economic activity, blacklisting based on forbidden spending patterns, all that kind of stuff. There is definitely a lot of negative potential here that we have to guard against. I mean, it's straight out of a dystopian Black Mirror sci-fi story. That is the absolute worst case scenario, and we certainly have to guard against it. So is this partnership positive or negative for the industry in the end? Look, the bottom line is this. CBDCs are probably coming, whether we like them or not. It may be at the in-country use level, or it may only be at the country-to-country level, but they're coming. And the SWIFT partnership and successful tests using Chainlink for digital asset settlement assure that it will happen. That's my take. It seems like a matter of time. And the only other thing that's clear right now in the news is that more of these types of transactions will happen. And that's actually pretty bullish for Chainlink. Let me know if you're more optimistic or pessimistic when it comes to this kind of stuff. What do you think? Which argument is more convincing? Is SWIFT working with crypto and using crypto rails a positive or a negative for crypto holders like yourself and myself, for the industry? Do you hold any Link? Are you excited about the potential here to maybe have your bags pump a little bit as a result of all this news? Again, it is massive. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Like I said at the outset of the video, this is a more nuanced situation. It's definitely not as black and white, as cut and dry as some people would have you think.